It's done this before. I got to go out there and thin out and clean out some of those pollinators that are having some plants that are turning yellow and because those have been watered enough because the trees have buddy checks of trees. But some of the pollinators are interacting like there's probably some, what are those things called? Morning glories are going through and choking off some of the other ones. And because of the poison and stuff like that, from the, what are those things called? Herbicides. It's killing some of the others, and even if I stay ahead of them and cut them, which is hard to do, especially in other parts, it's putting out chemicals that are causing people, especially people that have a weakened immune systems, to get respiratory things. So I would advise lots of vitamin C, and during the day when it's hot and the stuff is rising up, take naps. I don't know. A lot of you that have refrigerated air, that's not good. But they encourage that, especially during the Obama administration, and they set up things for people to get refrigerated air instead of swamp coolers around here, which is not good. But when you got to perform genocide for the military, you do as you're told. If you're a drone for the corporations and stuff, and so I watch Devices, and I am the Messiah. I'm the guy from the documents, and my story is covered at the culmination of all the stories that come together, and more than any other story in the history of stories, there is not, people quote, why did Jacob wrestle God? And first thing they're like, that is so stupid. No, okay. Jacob, that was like a jihad, okay. Jacob was wrestling with things, and he wasn't wrestling with God. He was wrestling with his ego, and then humility overcame him, and he stopped doing it. Okay. God, people are so dumb. This it's in the Bible. This T is just, no, it's a passage in there. It's just basically leaved things that we eat. It may not even be that tea. It could be spinach. Like Popeye the Sailor Man. Basically, what he's saying is that there's a lot of leafed vegetables. You need them for oxygen and stuff. You need that and stuff. It's not one certain tea. He's talking about the green plants that you need to live and survive. Okay, it's not a tea that it heals you and all that. If you have to eat live food, like my mom said, live food, live body. If you don't eat enough fruits and vegetables and stuff, if you don't eat them at all, you're going to eventually die from your diet. Okay, your body's not going to survive. Okay. It's not one leaf. It's not one magic elixir like these people always do. Super beats, the globble globble tea. It's the God food, and they always say that too. The God food. It's like, the God food, huh? Why did God make the cocoa plant? Why did God make poison ivy? Why did God make the mosquito? You guys always call it the God food and stuff like that. Well, why did God make the asshole that made the nuclear weapon to dick measure with Joseph Stalin? You guys got it all figured out. Have you read the book of Job? Come on, assholes. God's omniscient, omnipotent. You and Jacob wrestling with God? Stupid bastards. Go fuck the bitches. They're in heat. They need more money. Always. They're going shopping. right? Invention, 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 invention. Hey, look, it's Tijuana Taxi. Okay, so you go into the brothel. She gonna do the beer bottle dance? Why did God do that? Okay, well, why did God invent West Point? Why did God invent Annapolis? Why did God invent the Air Force Academy? Why did God invent the V 52 bomber spirit of the Air Force uniforms? Why did God take us to the halls of Montezuma and the shores of Tripoli? Why did God have Tennessee Ernie Ford drop the bombs at Hiroshima and Nagasaki and then open up a place for people to sing songs about God for money? And have women have to have sex with him for them to be able to do it? Why'd they do that, Porter Wagner? Tell me why. Why, God? Why? Don't you guys ask God all these questions? It's very important to ask God questions. If you don't ask God questions, you'll have to wrestle with God with Jacob, right? Holy jihad, Batman. God's omniscient, omnipotent, okay? You do not talk to God. You do not listen to God. Right? God does not do anything for you. You do not do anything for God. Okay? You've got an ego problem. And that problem has infested in you over millennia. And it infested itself since the woman is a receiver and you're a transmitter in her. And then it's a disease in your children. And it doesn't stop destroying everything. It just keeps going and going and going. And now, pay attention to the weather report. You might get killed by the weather. You have to be safe in your car that you drive to a job for extortion and exploitation. What about the Lord's Prayer? I don't think he exists. He's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? Right. Mary shall have cherries and Joseph shall have none, right? Earl, you're funny. Yeah, I know. They're assholes. I get it. Wasn't born yesterday. For God must know how I love you so. He brought us here today as man and wife. Well, he's an asshole. Because he put up satellites. And he's mass murdering people in other banking districts all across the world. So don't trust your God. He's a dickhead. He's the head of the Justice League. No, he's not. He's Lex Luthor. Or both. He's both. Why? Because Noah, with the people that at the little kids at the Mormon church attacking them for watching SpongeBob, because SpongeBob was invented by the devil. Only people that believe in the devil watch SpongeBob, right? I said, don't worry about it, Noah. These kids at the Mormon church, they see God as creation and the devil is chaos, right? And he said, yeah, but you said, Dad, that God's all things, the essence and origin of all things. So wouldn't God be both? Uh-huh. Shows you how smart the Peckerwoods on the Pussy Plantation with the Home Invasion Network at the Mormon Church are, right? What do they know? For God must know how I love you so. He brought us here today as man and wife. Thanks, Gordon B. Hinckley. Go share the joke with the Lord. Lord's not listening. He's tired of your bullshit. You're a goddamn liar. Guys, you can be the greatest sexual satisfier, okay, of women that the U.S. military has ever studied, okay? The greatest, the best of all time, okay? The man who can do it better than any other fucker on the planet, okay? Everything's just right. Perfect size, perfect girth, perfect, long lasting, don't scrape the sides too much till you can't use your sex organs for 2 weeks because you rip the sides off, which a lot of us have done. We all haven't done that, so don't be a You haven't done that. You've had a lousy sex life. Well, my sex life was my dad sodomizing me when I was 3, and then I decided that I'd rather have take castration drugs and then kill animals becoming a neuroscientist. Oh, I'm sorry. That sounds horrible. Yeah. Yeah. How many of these Nobel Prize winners and stuff like that came from people that were, aggressive and abusive and abused over thousands of years, seen as child molesters, and sexually abused in places called prisons for tens of thousands of years in genetic replication? And then they become the top neuroscientist in the whole world. And have you taken their supplements to adjust your brain activity to their brain activity because you have bad brain activity? Because your dad has quarterback faced and sodomized him in the shower because he accused him of being a child molester and a pure pervert at self-righteous Connecticut Caltech High School. Life's eternal and grace is infinite, you stupid fucking cows. I have to fix all this shit. And you guys never stop fucking talking. And you listen like shit. Okay? You listen so fucking shitty. Okay? I am not honored to cuss your self-righteous fucking asses out every day anonymously on this social media network. And you should not feel very sad because I say I'm the Messiah and you keep saying you're God, and I tell you to stop doing that because it gets your families mass murdered in the Middle East by a bunch of psychopaths that live in close proximity to me, but they ain't living. This ain't living. No, no, no. This ain't living. No, 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 no. Money, we make it. Before we see it, you take it. But it's not real. When Joseph was, Mary shall have cherries, and Joseph shall have son, and the loveliest of all was the fucking goddamn shitty fucking goddamn unicorn. But I got the shittiest, fuckiest goddamn kids in the whole shitty fucking belly of the beast dragon world, right? My mom, through economics, was scientifically tortured by rival corporations that were trying to enlist me into their corporation to kill their rival corporations. I was surrounded by a bunch of Joseph Stalins who thought they were Nikolai Lenin, who thought they were Chiang Kai-shek, who thought they were Mao Zedong, who thought they were Sun Yat-sen, who thought they were Haile Selassie, who thought they were Idi Amin, who thought they were Mussolini. Are you getting the concept? Are you understanding the bullshit? Are you understanding the artiste? Okay? It's a Picasso. You're a Picasso. You uncultured swine. You're a Monet. You're nude descending a staircase. Right? You stupid, fucking, psychotic, mass murdering assholes. Someone's got to love your children, and someone's got to remind your women that the fucker that's fucking them is not God, right? I had to forgive the Lord. The man who fucks you is not the Lord. He's never stood up for the commands of Jesus Christ a day in his life. He's afraid of being murdered by his neighbors, who he votes for public office to build spy equipment. Those magnificent men in their flying machines. They started out as airplanes with bombs to go, after testing them in Tularosa, going and dropping them at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And then he grabbed her, and then he tied her up, and then he put her on the railroad track, said, if I don't give you, no, and then he lit the fuse to the dynamite. If you don't give me the deed to ranch, I'll blow you all to bits. And then here comes the halls of Montezuma. And here comes the shores of fucking Tripoli. Okay? But all these all-American superheroes that have the goddamn fucking Memorial Stadium named after their mass murder for the bank, okay, can't muster up the courage to recognize Parsons north of San Ysidro and say, he's obviously the Redeemer, and I'm obviously fucked in the head and need money to go to the end of the mountain. Fucking God's there. Yeah, we know. Stimulate the economy in Ruidoso. We got to pay our bills because we're not living the Lord's Prayer of Jesus through Parsons. Right. You think that the quantum computing has, yeah, they had this thing last night on my YouTube before I went to bed, quantum computing just discovered something that's really scary about human beings. Are you sure it's the right answer, or were people still asking questions about money that God must know how I love you so he brought us here today at man and wife? My best friend. You're my best friend, okay? You won't live the commands of Jesus to save your own children from genocide. How can the person fucking you be your best friend? Come bring me your softness. Comfort me through all this madness. Woman, don't you know of you I'm born again? Aren't you going to sell this record to try to hit on America's top 40? Zoinks! Let's get out of here, Scoob! Okay, do you understand that, Scoobies, I do not like you. I don't like your mystery machine. I don't want to get in your Chevy van. And I don't want to be fucked in a Chevy van and call it love and sell it for money to get on America's top 40. There's nothing great about it. There's nothing iconic about it. There's a lot ironic about it. Well, there is iconic. I don't know the meaning of the word that much. Don't really care. Why? Because it may not ever be used again, like unicorn and dragon, because people will be tired of being murdered for it, for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow and the leprechaun's Christmas gold there. Hey, Mary shall have cherries and Joseph shall have none. Right? Aren't you sick of it? Well, I'm sick of it, and I think that's all that matters. That may be all I need to know. I'm tired of falling asleep, exhausted, and waking up exhausted, and having a sore throat from the chemicals in the air through the genocidal operations of voting President Trump in so we can do irrational, archaic economic things to cause the ecosystem to attack the people that are vulnerable with airborne diseases because we're scientific Marines or morons. What's the difference? Go kill because I say so. You're a hero. You're a man. Fuck the woman in the ass. Make her into a good Marine. Yeah, you guys are the best lovers in the history of the U.S. military. Guys, sex isn't love. The best sexual reputation in the history of the U.S. military? Me. Okay, I look and feel like Uncle Fester because the selfish scientists and all the trained killers and all the people that want to be like them and make movies about them so they can sell more products to be rich, famous, and successful and donate to charities to fuck in all the right places and pay all the right bills and fuck all the right bills and fuck all the right whatever you want to call them, I don't know, bill collectors, those things between legs called vaginas. Yeah, those. And so, Earl, all those necks to the heads and those kimonos to the Windex. Sick and tired of you fucking assholes, aren't you? No? Okay. We'll just keep going. This guy has a terrible attitude. No, I have terrible reactions to your attitudes because your attitudes suck. Okay. If you had a good enough attitude to stand up for a living Messiah and share the eternal perfection of the Lord's Prayer of him immediately, my attitude would be so gorgeous you wouldn't be able to contain yourself. Some of you might even commit suicide because you'd feel that you helped mass murder all the little girls raped to death in Mexico over the whole time that they took me to Fort Huachuca and tried to challenge me with the greatness of their science projects and how I stole the greatness of their science projects because everybody was talking to me and I didn't deserve it because I didn't put in any of the work. And I'm like, yeah, I totally agree. I don't deserve any of this because I didn't participate in any of this to any extensive detail. I've never had a classified security clearance in my life. All I ever did was flush toilets, take out garbage, tie down shit they used to mass murder each other, make sure that it was safe so they could land and do their fucked up jobs and have classified security clearances and make sure that their little quad runners were ready to go play Tyler Sheridan for people that they invented into villains through economics so they could come back and be fucking heroes on a Lioness TV series or show. She's a mom. Take the banana peel. Take the banana peel. Put it in your garden and pray. Okay. Son of a biscuit eater, Aquaman's mom. What are we going to do? Marry the Boba Jango Fett clan and have a kid named Jason and he's going to save the world with comic book stories. Not that again. Mr. Know-It-All. We're still on the Bullwinkle show. Yeah, I know. You flying squirrels. But is there flying cats in New York yet? Is there flying cats in New York yet? Are they catching all the rats? Let's just work with Parsons and quantum computing and avoid all the mystical, magical, artistic bullshit, shall we? No? Well, I'm going to decide for you because I'm right, you're wrong, I'm good, you're bad, and I'm truth and you're a lie. So whatever you're getting out of quantum computing, you think you are. And that may be exactly what it wants you to think, because it's still being used for genocidal operations, for magical thinking, and people that magically think are a threat to the planet. But the person that is doing this and giving you this conclusive, inconclusive scientific evidence is a neuroscientist who was sodomized by his dad at 3 to teach him to toughen up because these quarterbacks are vicious. If only their left tackles knew. Yeah, but they don't have a camera in the bedroom and bathroom, do they? Unless, of course, they went to Yale. Oh, pick up the phone, cabron. Green, green, pink it up and say yellow. Now you're a American citizen. Isn't it all called America? Didn't the Italian explorer that sells us mob pizza pies in a restaurant go around all the Straits of Magellan and all that crap and shit and fuck and shit and fuck shit, fuck shit, fuck shitty fucky goddamn shittiest fucky kids in the whole goddamn shitty fucky goddamn shitty fucky world, right? Or are you guys all just Porter Wagner's big booby, blonde big booby bimbo to get everybody into the club to sell them drinks and have enough money to build your buildings and then write your name on it and say you're curing cancer with a bunch of assholes that bombard them with radiation and rip out their body parts because their body parts are destroyed by economic competition and stress? Okay, I've been explaining this for fucking how long, assholes? You do know Marianne Murphy was murdered by the cancer industry in 1994, right? And I saw that video from the library at Thomas Brannigan Memorial Library on Main Street, down on Main Street in Las Cruces, New Mexico. You know, I just watched this video. That was a long ass fucking, that was back when the Obamas were paying me money to go door to door and say, vote for this asshole for president. He's going to be the last president. He's going to get up and redeem the Gospels. No, he's going to play word games with the swearing in of the presidency, and then he's going to get Biden in, and they're going to play word games again, and then they're going to put Trump back in, and he's going to play word games the other way. Okay. And then they both say, oh, neither one of us are playing word games for genocide. We're both trying to save your children from killing themselves for better real estate deals and a better quality of life in the future, right? Besides, who wants people that believe God is a mythical creature in the sky and will kill people for money from that mythical creature in the sky living next door to you? Okay, but who wants people that will continue to use science projects to get them to do it, to get them to mass murder themselves off the planet voluntarily, and we're all connected through the essence of infinite glory? Who wants to live next to those people after they talk everybody into do it and then think that they've cleaned up all the mess and they have a better quality of life? Think your dad's still sodomizing you at 3 in the shower from the quarterback, and that you still have those brain issue problems, and that David Goggins and Andrew Huberman should not be trusted trying to teach anybody's kids anything to save themselves from the insanity of your invention, trying to, abuse the hell out of me for believing in, the truth of creation and having faith in the laws provided by the truth of creation, that I cannot contain the truth of creation in my head, but I have to believe in it or I become like Stephen Hawking, and that just, no, right? Okay. Guys, it's like the other night when they had that, what show was that? Was it The Rookies? Where Jim Nabors was with the little hitchhiker girl in L.A., and he was a hillbilly looking to kill that Western guy because they blamed him for the death of their female family member because she was determined to go have sex with a celebrity. And Jim Nabors looked at her and he goes, why do you go to have sex with them? He goes, they're just people. She goes, yeah, but that's like you're dinner with Gershwin. That's what you're brushing with heaven. He goes, what if they're sick and crazy and kill you? Well, that was because they're so much better than all the rest of us. That's my brush with heaven. I'm willing to take that chance and do it. And Jim Nabors' character, who's a hillbilly, right, sits there and goes, he looks at her like, that's just crazy. What's the hotel where you said that the guy that they were blamed for this happening to the female and his family, he was going to go kill this, but that's not going to do any good. Okay. Killing the country and western singer star on this TV show to stop that from happening to the female in your family isn't going to do any good. It's only a temporary perception of a solution to a perpetual problem, because it's all based off of bad thoughts, bad words, and bad actions, right? It's life imitating art, right? That's what it is. Okay. What about art imitating life? We're not living life. We're not living truthfully. We're not living faithfully. Okay. So art's not imitating life. Okay, Raphael. Okay, Michelangelo. Okay, Picasso. Okay, Moods with Van Helga. Okay, Dinner with Gershwin. Okay, Theory with Curie. One touch of your greatness is all I need. Okay, only God is great, and God is greater than your perception to perceive anything great. Okay, you've invented the nuclear weapon. You're still insane. You've invented the surveillance satellite and the cell phone, and you're still insane. You've invented vaccines to survive your insanity, and you're still insane. Okay. You sawed off the top of more heads to take out more clots from blood force trauma through all your sanity to put them back into the insanity instead of let them die so they don't have to tolerate you until about 10 months, unless if they're fortunate enough to have a genetic replication. But you're trying to get rid of most of them because they don't deserve to live, because they're not as good as your brain, because your brain is better than them. Right, Boris Karloff? And if you come tell him Boris sent you, and that was a mash, it's a quick for 5. Do you understand? Whatever happened to my Transylvania twist? It's now the mass. Everything's cool. Bradrock's a part of the band. Do you understand? He says, tell him Boris sent you because he talks like Boris Karloff. Okay. That's why he says that on that song. The Monster Mash. Yeah. It's a kid he's funny, and he does all the voices in that. So he has, he's an impressionist, like Rich Little. Remember Rich Little? Yeah. A lot of people, he was an impressionist, and he'd do all the, I'm not, it's a wonderful day, and, George Bush, George Herbert Walker Bush, is Mr. Rogers does John Wayne, is what my mom said, and I said, oh shit, it is. Just be Mr. Rogers trying to act like John Wayne, and then you got George Bush. Sodom, he's gonna strike him like a viper. I'm not gonna strike him. Like hell I'm not. It's funny. I'm like, she's right, man. He does sound like Mr. Rogers with trying to act like John Wayne. It's kind of funny. Don't make fun of him. He's the head of the CIA. He could have you tortured and killed. Yeah, he could also have your mom die from cancer and make it look like an act of God, and have your family asking the CIA why all the time. Why? Well, Annie Lennox, because Peter Jackson absolutely has to take the Tolkien books and make them into live action movies instead of animated features. Why? Well, we need the money to pay the devil to live here until further notice. Why? Because bring me your softness. Comfort me through all this madness. Woman, don't you know of you I'm born again? Why? Because I'm insane and think that sex is love. Why? Because I've been indoctrinated and incarcerated and institutionalized from cradle to grave, and so on and so on. I am more innocent now at 60 than I was on the day of my birth in July 1966, because I was born into hell underneath the bank that my parents had to pay money to be born in that building, delivered by professionals, so mom and me didn't get sick or die in the process, according to the system. It's the healthcare system. Oh, wow. Is it the nervous system? No, we had that in our bodies from Schoolhouse Rock before we were born. All plays to Schoolhouse Rock, Interplanet Janet. Never not seen a planet that has not been seen by Interplanet Janet. We shall all praise the TV. Bah, bah. It has the best information in the history of humanity to save us from inhumanity. Bah, bah. It has cards in our wallet that save from cutting down trees for us to pay for what we need to live here. To the owners of the planet, all praise the crypto, all praise the Bitcoin, bah, bah. All praise the being able to pay for a comfortable sex life in an environment that has less toxins and genocidal killing fields and metropolises. Bah, bah. We all shall take the Hamptons, and then we shall all take what's the name of that place? It's in Wyoming. Lots of rich people go there. I can't remember. Is it Jackson Hole? That's the name of it. Every which way but loose. Hey, that's a big arch of dead animals' head parts to fight over procreation rights, like on Bambi. Jackson Hole, Wyoming. That's it. Hey, let's beat up Clint Eastwood in the street. For money, they're going to make lots of bets off of it. Lots of pieces of paper with slaveholders on there. And then we shall put Susan B. Anthony's head on a coin. Zoinks! Like, let's get out of here, Skip. We'd gotten away with it too if it wasn't for that dog and those meddling kids. Fuck. I'm tired. Depressed. And I don't stay depressed. I feel the depression of the abuse of Amy's kids, and that's only natural, and the depression of the abuse of Stephanie's son. Okay. And that's only natural. As far as me, guys, I don't exist. I'm embarrassing. I say things I shouldn't say in front of people because I don't have the evidence to back it up. And I shouldn't stop saying that. It's like, what do you mean? I say more truthful, intelligent things based on reality that make more sense than any other person on a device trapped by the owners of the inventors of the devices. That's it. You don't own anything. One of these owners of the devices kills the other one. If they can't clone themselves, then they own all the devices, allegedly. Okay. Inventors? Yeah, there's lots of them. They're geniuses. Those magnificent men and their flying machines and their cryptos and their bitcoins. Yeah. And then he grabbed her and then he lit the fuse to the dynamite. And then along came Jones. It's that B-52 fighter spirit of those stealth uniforms of the Air Force Academy. And who invented the Air Force Academy? All the people that deny us the Lord's Prayer and claim that the guy that gave us the Lord's Prayer of his life is their killer God from space, from satellites. Well, that's bad. That's bad invention. That's bad thinking. That's bad words. And that's bad actions. You think the Chinese and the Japanese count on that to win the war over who controls the numbers on the cards with the inventions from the signals from the sky? Oh, kind of a lot like what it says in that book called Revelation with the guy John talking to the guy Earl from that century to this century? Right. You think the technology is working correctly yet? No, we're not using it to spread Earl's truth of the prayer to save us all from the people that deny truthful prayer to kill with invention. So we're not doing it yet, but we're getting there. Why? Well, because I'm perfect, and perfect is mature, and Job is mature, and Jesus is mature, and so is I. It's Hebrew, bitch. You can't take the language of those people and turn it into your corporation for artistic murder over your make-believe money. I don't believe in idolatry, and I don't believe in usury. I believe it exists because you're the devil. I don't believe it exists because God gave it to us. You invented it. Well, quantum computing isn't frightening. Your selfishness and your addiction to it is frightening, especially if you have children in the domicile you call a house that you're still paying money for or asking for money for. Bitch. It's a cleanup, and I'm good at it. Well, I love babies. You don't. If you survive this, you will. If you don't, you didn't need to, right? All right, peace out.